is the official Supercell Clash Royale North American Opens. Representing Frozen Peak, I'm Christian.
And Builders Workshop, I'm Ella.
And tonight we are bringing you Coronation number 11. We are almost done here. So many champions have been crowned, just 6 more to go. And we have our top 8 playing for you guys here tonight.
Yeah, and over this tournament, hundreds of thousands of you guys at home have been playing in our open qualifiers to move on tonight's Like Tonight, the Coronation events. And from the Coronation events, 16 players will be making it to the arena battles, where 8 will then go on to the crown duels, and then one amazingly talented, awesome winner will take home $15,000 out of $100,000 prize pool and an awesome trip to Supercell headquarters.
That is right, and not only are they playing for that, but the 8 players that make it every single night here to the Coronation Nights, they're playing for something too. First place taking home $2,000, second place $500, third and fourth $300, and 5th through 8th $100 each. We want to emphasize to you guys, getting here to this, going past thousands of players, this is the cream of the crop. These guys are the top players right now in the Clash Royale scene. So if you guys want to get better at this game, stick around. We have some amazing games for you guys. So yeah, get your notes down. We have amazing people. Before we get over to that and who we see the 8 are, a quick reminder of the rules here at the Clash Royale North American Open. We run the standard tournament cap with the dual deck submission. That's very important. Each player will submit 2 unique decks to us. By unique, they are at least 4 cards different. To move on, it's very simple. You just gotta beat your opponent with both of your decks before they beat you with both of theirs, and there it is.
Yeah, no problem. Super easy.
$2,000, a chance to the arena battles where you get to see some amazing people, and then potentially $15,000, and then to Helsinki. Woo!
No big deal.
Now let's take a look at who those 8 players are tonight, battling for that $2,000 on the ticket. Up first, Loupanji.
We apologize.
I'm going to say Loupanji. Loupanji versus Chief Mystical.
Then we have Tag You're Pregnant, which who we've seen before, versus Popcorn, who we've also seen before.
Yeah, next we have Goat versus Sui Generis.
And then we have Darth Jar Jar versus Ash.
That's right, we have some returning, we've got some new, so let's go over to the couch where we are joined by the red and blue. On the red couch, it is...
3 Musketeers.
Wow.
And a partridge in a pear tree, and a card making its debut. A card making its first time debut tonight, but not in this match. So we'll pass it on.
Well, secrets. We'll hold off on that. Be surprised. But right now we have Loupanji versus Chief Mystical. Who you guys think is gonna take it? Let us know in chat.
Ice Golem plus Princess. Oh, the miner tries to go for the kill, but gets frozen up by the Ice Spirit. Will get it in the end. That's 3 elixir, worthy of that trade. Princess is one of the most annoying cards to deal with. Hog Log successfully launched. The minions do what they can, but in the end, the Hog Rider only gets a single swing.
I'd like to see how
now Chief Mystical has to deal with Lava Hound.
I'd love to see how Chief Mystical defends this, because in a lot of ways that looked like it was better for the Lava Hound player. To get a whole Lava Hound out and only take a little bit of damage on your tower is usually really good for the Lava Hound player. But we've seen Chief Mystical do some exceptional defense. This is his 3rd time in the top 8, member of Hammers Esports, and he has really impressed me with his absolute elite level defensive play.
Yeah. Alongside the fact that Chief Mystical is the only player so far to field 2 Hog Rider decks, and I think he's doing that again today.
Absolutely, he is. Chief Mystical has double Hog Rider. One is more of a Hog Lightning with Inferno Tower, which is what he's opened with. The other is that fast cycling Hog Fireball deck. Loupanji has the Lava Hound deck we're seeing right now, all air except for a miner, and his other deck, Miner Goblin Barrel, but wait, 3 Musketeers as well.
Oh,
Pretty
man.
interesting little hybrid. Can't wait to see that deck if we get to.
Yay!
What a crazy turn of events. We could talk more about that. I have a lot of ideas as to why that might be the card of choice. But so far, Loupanji has a good hold on this game. I think executing a good minor minion horde push was key in allowing Loupanji to do a lot of damage. But here comes a counterattack from Chief Mystical and will lower that tower's health down a considerable amount. Had to use miner on defense, means that this miner will likely be taken down before it can tank for the lava pups that will pop.
Tanking for the Inferno Tower, though, is not too bad. That buys a little bit of time, and unfortunately, well, actually, great defense there to get the Ice Golem in front to prevent those minions from locking on, but still, the Miner plus Lava Pups do lock on, which are doing a huge amount of damage.
Man, the cycle was so fast, but actually, Loupanji manages to sneak a Hog Rider amongst all that chaos, and I think he's actually going to be able to take the Lava Pups. It's exactly like you said, Rumham. What am I watching? How did Chief Mystical get out of that situation relatively unscathed? He took the tower down.
Yeah, that looked like, I mean, it was a Lava Hound with minions and a Miner on the ground coming with it, and somehow Chief Mystical's the one who comes out ahead in the end. Pretty impressive. Oh, and that Inferno Tower is not going to lock onto the tower. Will he get it?
Oh!
Whoa.
But still, the counterattack, the relentless aggression that Chief Mystical is throwing out, may have lost the tower, but he's really caught up in tower health, lowered that right side tower down to 1602. However, he's not out of the woods yet. He's not in the clear. I think Loupanji is looking really dangerous right now.
The catch for Loupanji is going to be trying to commit a Lava Hound to the board. Anytime he casts Lava Hound, he's going down to 3 Elixir or worse. And that's the perfect opportunity to get a Hog Rider right in your face. So it's got to do everything possible to get that big, powerful tank out without selling the farm in the process.
Ooh, the Mega Minion narrowly avoids a fireball. And actually, that situation turned out pretty well. Is there a log accompanying this Hog? And it seems like there is, but because the 2 towers are activated, the Hog Rider still cannot get a swing on the tower.
And Chief Mystical's got to work on his timing there. He's normally incredibly precise. That one was a little slow. You really need that log to land right at the same time as the first Hog Rider swing in order to make the most out of the timing.
Miner comes over to try to assassinate the princess and does so successfully, but it will quickly run out of health. An aggressive drop for the minion horde to help take down that Inferno Tower. Only 1 Mega Minion to defend, but it's a race. The Hog Rider is getting a lot of swings. Maybe one more. Oh no! But there's an Ice Golem. The Ice Golem might be the MVP of this match. It just saved that tower from falling. Aggressive drop. There's the lightning to take it down. Chief Mystical narrowly takes that. Something that we mentioned, Chief Mystical's defense, absolutely crazy. He can afford to spend something like lightning and then manage to defend a push after all.
Whoa.
Ouch.
Speaking of Zap.
Yeah, good opening, plus Zap can guard you from all them Goblin Barrels. Now let's not get too excited about Chief Mystical advancing just yet, because if you remember, his Hog Lightning deck was the better of his 2 decks. Every time he's been here, that deck has just dominated. He has struggled to close games out, though, with his faster Hog Cycle deck. So we'll see if he can pull it off this time. Log was so crucial to so many of his wins.
Here comes Hog, Ice Golem, and actually, Ella, that's another combo that you can go for. Ice Golem a little bit easier to get than Log, and actually very effective. There's the Mind Game.
Nice!
Oh, you got fake word! The
check it
Ice
out.
Golem is tanking, and look at how much damage these Goblins are going to do. Ice Spirit finally jumps on, but that was beautiful, and now you have the addition of the Princess firing a volley. Well executed, Loupanji.
Chief
Making
Mystical
the dream happen.
gives the well played. Unfortunate, we talked about how Chief Mystical's an elite defender. One of the things that makes you elite is never making mistakes on your placement. I think Loupanji played his princess a little too far up.
Yeah.
The Mega Minion was getting close and about to kill the princess, and he had to zap it. Now that's 5 Elixir to defend 3. 3 Elixir that was already spent and kind of earned its value killing your attackers.
Ice Golem gets up to the tower and slows it down. Skeleton Army, but still the Hog Rider gets 1 swing. And now Chief Mystical has to figure out how to defend against the Skeleton Army.
He
One
missed
zap,
3.
but he missed 3, and one of the skeletons peeled off.
Skeleton, go!
There's just 1 hero skeleton. Oh, 275. And
Kelly.
That was Frank. Frank is always the best.
Frankie.
Skeleton.
Harry, Larry, they have all the names.
They all the names.
They took out Ledoux.
That's true, the last one is always Ledoux.
Yeah.
Oh, the dude.
Oh, they stabbed. I wonder if Chief Mystical opted not to zap,
Yes.
instead holding for a counter push, sort of knowing that tower is
Gone.
dead.
Yeah.
I mean, the last card in Loupanji's deck is 3 Musketeers. He's opted not to play it just yet, but now that we're in double elixir time, we might see them come
Everybody
out.
wants to see them.
That
people
combo
on Twitter.
was
Watch
sick.
the middle. Watch the middle of Chief Mystical's yard.
Twine.
Oh! Good predictive play. Oh, and the fireball.
Oh, and the
No.
fireball.
Well, we're
Very
alive.
fantastic defense against the 3 Musketeers.
Now remember, all players in the Clash Royale North American Open get to see their opponent's decks because of the Smash GG tournament setup that we use. We just want to make sure that everyone kind of knows what they're getting into, and that it also prevents fraud of people maybe playing the wrong deck or whatever. So both players know what they are, so the Goblin Barrel's not going to be a surprise. The 3 Musketeers aren't going to be a surprise. That's why you saw that Tombstone come out in the middle preemptively to block for 3 Musketeers. He knew that play was coming.
Oh no, where's the zap? The Goblins are going to town on the tower. He has to fireball that right. So no, he zapped up with 6 health.
Whoa.
Do your math.
Oh my gosh,
No.
oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Oh, no.
No,
Oh, we'll make it.
But 3 Musketeers is now on the table, and there's no way for Chief Mystical to comfortably remove them. And he only has 592 health left on that tower. He needs to zap this Goblin Barrel, but he also needs to deal with the Ice Golem, and now he needs to deal with the Skeleton Army. There's just so many troops. Ice Golem will take down the skeletons. Miner gets up to the tower. 1 Musketeer on the King Tower, and
Almost
finally
a
takes it
3
down.
crown. Loupanji picking up game number.
Kind of iffy on defense. Like you try to play Goblins, for example, against the Hog Rider. Your Goblins get zapped. Uh-oh. Yeah,
Sure.
right? So archers can't be logged, zapped, arrows. That's all true of Mega Minion 2, and Mega Minion can't be fireballed on top of that.
All right, so Loupanji and Chief Mystical, the next win. Take one of these two players to the semifinals. Who is it gonna be?
Skeleton kisses.
Little dancing skeleton.
And boom. Hey, my friend.
Oh no!
What is
Hog
it?
Rider's too fast for them skeletons.
He doesn't have log, but the Hog Rider still gets a swing. And now he has to defend against Lava Hound.
And somehow that Mega Minion at the river is avoiding the other tower, just standing like just as far out of range as humanly possible.
Oh, wow.
And slowly made his way over.
I see that.
Here comes the Miner to tank for the pups. The archers do a pretty good job taking them down. The zap actually hurt because now the archer locked back onto the pups, but still significant damage done. And the elixir does not reflect the cost of damaging the tower that it should.
Let's see if another tombstone comes out. It does to pull it away, but that archer, supporting archer, really helps. Hog Rider only needs one swing to get rid of it, and the zap takes the skeletons out.
Gets 2 swings.
Well played.
For her, we got
Like they
spectators
were
throwing
listening.
confetti.
3 people on the edge of their seats.
And the crowd goes mild.
Dude, one thing I want to point out, that ice cube that floats in the middle.
Yeah.
I love how it knocks the other one out and then just cycles again.
Oh, yeah.
So well done.
Beautiful
Miner
looping GIF.
defensively here is really not what you want to do, but we've seen Loupanji cycle the Miner for when he needs it to help against the, for the Lava Pups. Still, though, a lot of damage done by the Hog Rider, and now the Mega Minion drop will do pretty good against the Lava Hound itself. Fireball, and these minions are getting distracted by the Ice Golem drop. There's no more troops on the board really left to defend this, and I think that's a tower to Loupanji.
I agree. The nice thing about, okay, so you can't fireball Mega Minion, but Fireball puts Mega Minion to very, very low health. So as soon as that first minion started swinging on the Mega Minion, the Fireball comes out to finish it off as quickly as possible because you need those minions to lock onto the tower.
Wow, Minion Horde dropped on top of the tombstone, absolutely decimates the Hog Rider, and now a whole bunch of minions. Where is your spell? He has to spend the Fireball, and I think that was actually very effective for Chief Mystical. Look for a big counterattack now. He's playing the Ice Spirit alongside the Hog Rider. The Ice Spirit's gonna jump on the Mega Minion, gets rid of the tombstone. He's looking for the zap. No, didn't use it. And now the Minion Horde will overrun.
Somewhat hard to predict, but I do think that if that zap had hit the skeletons, it's possible the Hog Rider would have gotten that last swing off. I mean, those skeletons are doing hundreds of damage per second.
He's got one here. He's got to get one. Oh, just in time.
He's going to try to fireball alongside his Hog Rider. There's a defensive zap.
That's it. Loupanji showing up here against Chief Mystical, picking up game number 2. And he is our first semifinalist here at Coronation number 11. Congratulations.
Congrats.
I have to really agree with you, Seth, that, or Rumham, that...
I answer to either.
He doesn't have a real
I
name.
really have to agree with Rumham. I think that Chief Mystical does struggle with his second deck. And I think that Fireball is a great spell. Zap as well. But I'm sure a lot of people might be shocked to hear this. I really think that you cannot replace Log with Zap in a Hog Rider deck.
Not a Hog Rider deck. I mean, at least not when Tombstone is this played. I mean, just kind of scanning around Tombstone, 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 Tombstone. There's not a single player who's not running Tombstone in at least one of their decks. Yeah. And if you want your Hog Rider to consistently beat the double deck format, you probably need to duplicate Log, and maybe Chief Mystical can go back to the drawing board with his second deck and try to figure out how to substitute some other card out in order to retain Log duplicated in both. He's duplicating 4 cards already, so something has to give.
Right.
But yeah, this is two Coronation Days, maybe not in a row, but at least in consecutive appearances where the Hog Lightning deck has just dominated and the faster cycle deck can't quite get there.
Well, let's take a look at our first replay, seeing that Hog Rider action and Skeleton action.
Man, I really think that Loupanji had 2 very well-built decks. I mean, the first one was more of a standard Lava Hound deck with Minor Minion Horde as the second threat. The other deck that he brought, the 3 Musketeer Goblin Barrel deck, I think was very well designed. And it was a joy watching Loupanji operate these decks and be successful with them.
Yeah, we're always going to root for people bringing new and weird decks, and I definitely did not predict the Goblin Barrel. He might have to go against 2 separate Lightning decks to get there.
Yeah.
But first off, we have Loupanji and Popcorn.
Yeah.
Goblin Barrel, potentially Mirror. Which of these 4 decks jumps out to you the most, Rainey?
I actually think that To me, the 3 Musketeer Goblin Barrel deck is probably the most devastating. I can also see a situation where he plays. So the thing about playing Lightning against 3 Musketeer is you gain value because you hit 2 of the Musketeers and you hit the tower. But if you're putting your 2 Musketeers down a lane that is kind of the healthier lane, the more irrelevant lane, then essentially it's still just a 6-4.
And when the Lava Hound comes down, that Hog Rider can run in and get value. So if that can happen, he's gonna be in pretty good shape.
So we're already seeing a Goblin Barrel. Our first match of the semifinals, Popcorn versus Loupanji. Let us know who you think is gonna take it in chat.
Ad Astra is what Loupanji is representing. Haven't seen them?
I've not seen them. I like the star though.
And it's a very underused symbol. We see a lot of the red sword and the king hats and things like that. Not a lot of stars. So here's where we're gonna see an important matchup.
What a risk! Wow, he's just gonna. I think the Ice Golem is gonna protect one of them.
Oh, great counterplay by Popcorn there to line it up so it didn't hit the tower and it focused on 2 Musketeers and the Ice Golem. The Ice Golem is in there to absorb one of those lightning shots. And I actually thought it was going to hit Tower, Ice Golem, 1 Musketeer, leaving 2 behind. But Popcorn was ready for that oddball play.
Mind game.
Oh, it worked! I think this is the first mind game that we've seen actually juke a log from Goblin Barrel. Well done, Loupanji.
Look at how much damage that did.
Popcorn respects the play, too. So what happened there is that 3-cost elixir Goblin Barrel, not only did it dodge the log, but it pretty much killed the archers as well while doing damage to the tower. That's really versatile for 3 elixir.
You need to be one with understanding where the log comes across the bridge. You can kind of tell where it's gonna land. You at least know that something is fishy.
Yeah. You at least know it's not going right onto the tower if you've seen enough Goblin Barrels.
Yeah. If you've seen enough Goblin Barrels in your life.
Goblin Barrel, like
become one with the Goblin Barrel.
Like real life bowling, should throw it harder. Throw it as hard as you can behind the tower. Oh no!
So now there is a reason why Ad Astra is running that stars. My ancient knowledge of Latin, it means to the stars. Ad Astra is Latin for to the stars. So there we go.
That's why we have you on the show, buddy.
Yeah, just
to translate Latin.
Of my ancient knowledge.
It comes up sometimes. Let's see if we can drop another Ice Golem.
Yes.
And once again, great aim. I have no idea how Popcorn is aiming those so well because it looks like the edge of that circle would theoretically like kind of brush the tower, but it's just not doing it.
Still though, the Golem and Ice Golem make it to the tower doing immense amounts of damage, and I think that this is a tough situation for Loupanji. I like the idea, I like the ingenuity of playing the Ice Golem with your 3 Musketeers, but he still has to own up to the fact that a Golem is coming down the lane.
Ooh, it looks like there's the zap comes in.
Man, this is so back and forth and so much damage. Minder Zap itself is already a huge damage, burst of damage.
No!
Oh!
That could be an opening for Loupanji to steal this game.
All right, here we go. Miner going in. We're going to hit
the lightning,
5 seconds. We're going to hit overtime.
The zap.
One more swing. Can he do it? Will Popcorn be able to take it? No! 86 health. Loupanji gets
diagonal angle, and if you can place the tombstone far enough in the center, the other tower will attack it as well. You can actually watch this. You're going to see 2 towers hitting this one. So you're getting extra tower shots, and the skeletons, the closest ones, do get
a couple hits.
Yeah. Not great.
All right, well, Loupanji, one more game away from going to the finals. Let's see if he can take it. Or will Popcorn tie it up 1-1?
Tough defense. Tough defense to pull off, and I think Popcorn didn't quite have the cards in hand. Has to spend the minion horde, and he's gonna have to work hard to get tempo back.
Well, they're not bad. Only the 3-cost minions in order to defend against that 5-cost minion horde. What happened there is the Mega Minion was actually being targeted by the tower. When he zapped the Skeleton Army and hit the tower, the Skeleton Army, or the tower retargeted onto the much closer Miner, leaving the Mega Minion at half health and threatening the tower. That was a really good play, but then he was left without zap on the counterattack. Let's see if he can do it again.
Ooh, nice positioning on the Miner.
Oh, and they killed the Ice Spirit.
Positioning on the Miner was so key, and that really is kind of the first player I saw to do that was actually...
Damage.
Oh my god.
Damage. Wow.
He keeps getting away with it. Loupanji, yeah. So what happened? Okay.
How's my play-by-play?
Great. So good call, Rainey, by the way. Yeah, that Miner in the front was not an accident. If he wanted to make sure that the closest possible thing to any defending placed unit was the Miner, so they'd lock onto that as opposed to the Minion Horde. If the Miner had gone, say, back left corner, that Princess could have locked onto that Swarm, and that attack would have done significantly less damage.
Well played.
Loupanji is playing well informed right now, and I think that for being a player that I have not really heard of, and from a clan that I haven't really heard of either, Loupanji is really impressing.
I'd like to hear more.
Yes.
Oh, and the Ice Spirit even takes that.
Oh,
He has 1 minute.
leave him, leave him, leave him.
Oh,
no,
Loupanji.
don't run after him. Oh.
Popcorn has 1 minute to make something happen, and so far, defense on Loupanji's side has been convincing.
Oh, fireball. Wow, on the princess.
Yep. And that's only a -1 elixir trade, but you get some critical damage onto the tower. I might be wrong. Maybe this deck was not that good of a matchup. I genuinely
He
thought
hasn't played the
it would
Lava
be-
Hound at all. He's
That's a
playing
good
it minor style.
Oh, that's actually a really good adaptation because, again, they know each other's decks. So it's possible that he knew the only way he was going to lose this game was by committing a Lava Hound and getting punished for it.
Interesting.
So instead he plays more like a minor cycle deck that just only has 7 cards in it.
23 seconds is all Popcorn has to take down a tower. If he does not, that is going to be Loupanji going to the finals.
Ooh, Princess might do a lot of damage as well. That Miner is going to make sure that the tower comes down, but the Mega Minion actually tanks it up. There's only 10 seconds left, has to launch the Hog Rider now, and I don't think Popcorn can do it. And Rainy gets dunked.
There
Popcorn
it is.
out.
Ow.
Popcorn going down. 2 more seconds. There's nothing that he can do. Loupanji 2-0ing Popcorn in the semifinals and moving on. Just 1 more match away from $2,000. You gotta be feeling good.
Yeah.
Loupanji played really well.
This is Popcorn's 4th appearance? 3rd appearance?
I think
Something
third.
like that.
3rd or 4th. I mean, again, it's hard to keep all the Reddit Alpha guys straight because it seems like we don't have a single Coronation Day that goes
They're
by
not
without
in it.
some member
Yeah.
of the clan here. Excellent work. Unfortunately, it doesn't move on. We're not going to see our umpteenth Reddit Alpha dual finals, but Popcorn walks away with $300.
Woo!
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Okay, well, let's throw to our first replay. I think we got some Goblin Barrel mind games going on here.
Yeah, well
Look at
placed
this,
on the
look at
Goblin
this.
Barrel, just a little too high.
So good.
So the 2 things about Log is that if you squeeze it back to the very, very edge of your drop zone, you can clear out all the space in front of the tower and just be really, really safe. But it just takes a little bit longer to do, and the goblins might get a stab.
Yeah, it's worth
Stab
mentioning
down.
he hit the Musketeer, and that was good because eventually you got to shoot the Musketeer down. If that has full health, it's going to do a lot more damage.
Here again tonight as we get ready to go into our final match. One of these 2 players is going home with $2,000 and the trip to go to the arena battles. Let us know who you think it is going to be. Will it be Loupanji or will it be Goat?
To be fair to Loupanji, though, I think he has more 2-0s in the top 8 today than Goat does. Goat's been pulling out a lot of close games.
He does.
Oh no, looks like those minions might lock on the tower.
Oh,
Oh, 2 of them.
An
do
early
so
lead.
much damage.
Hey, shout out to Goat, by the way. We mentioned, actually, I believe in the last Coronation Day that nearly all of the players we see are at 4,000 plus trophies.
That's
Goat
right.
making it all the way to the finals, 3,700, one of the lowest trophy counts we've seen, just proving that your trophy count on the ladder does not determine your competitive
Better
nature.
have a log. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Wow. And they actually take down 600 health of that tower.
No log in the deck, just a zap, but you're right, he probably didn't have it, or he just used it there to save it on the Inferno Tower.
Yep. This Lava Hound is looking menacing. What do you have for anti-air? The Princess shoots infrequently and does only a smidge of damage.
Skeleton Army does a great job distracting all the backline pups, minimizing the amount of damage that the tower would take.
Yes.
Will a princess shot kill a pups in one? No.
No, sir. Princess does a little less than a zap, I believe, and zap does not kill them either.
Yes. They are actually fairly tanky.
Yeah, they're slow, they don't do that much damage, but you're right, they're not as easy to remove as you might think.
Goblin Barrel doing a little bit of chip again and holding Loupanji on notice.
Reminiscent of an earlier match, all 4 towers have taken kind of significant damage, and it allows both the Goblin, it really lets the Goblin Barrel and the Miner on both sides play to any of the 4 corners of the map. Every tower is somewhat vulnerable.
are we going to call a corner
left.
again?
Bottom left.
I'm going
Bottom
with bottom left.
I'm going to take the
with
favorite of
Okay.
top left.
Okay.
I'll do top right.
I think this push right here, this Lava Hound, here we go. Make me proud.
Make me proud.
Oh,
Left.
Come on. Go.
Bottom left.
Oh wow, he split the damage.
Oh.
Really? Both of them.
Bottom left. I mean, that's
You're
less
setting yourself
elixir
up for
to
disappointment,
defend.
though.
Uh-oh.
I mean, what I mean to say is you're setting yourself up for disappointment because only the last hit point matters here. Oh no, the Miner doesn't kill the princess, she lives!
Wow.
Oh, that might change this push dramatically.
Oh shit, Princess could not. Princess back one. Okay. She didn't shoot at all.
Oh.
Defensive tombstones to try to mitigate. Wow, he really does not want that tower to go down, committing the fireball to that. and the Tombstone as well. Tombstone's going to convert a little bit, but that Fireball is down the drain.
Oh no, they gotta use the Skeleton Army for defense. He has to, wow. He spent
Ooh, there's
really,
no more Zap as well.
I think they both spent 7 Elixir right there. Skeleton Army plus Fireball on defense to the Minion Horde and Zap on offense.
Now look at that skeleton, or that tombstone there in the bottom left there for Loupanji. That's just to counter Goblin Barrel, right?
And Miner.
Okay.
I mean, it forces, the reason why you always play your Tombstones on the outside like that is because it forces the Miner to go inside and it gives them an opportunity to accidentally play it too close so the other tower will shoot. There's only 2 spots on the inside lane of a tower where you can play a Miner and not have it be attacked by the other tower. And so it makes it easier to predict miners when you want to defend them.
All right, well, here we go.
Oh!
Bottom left. We're here in overtime, game number 1 of the finals.
Wow.
Go to Loupanji.
Oh,
An
top
aggressive
right,
Lava
top
Hound.
right.
Oh, he didn't
Top
place
right.
There's no Zap. What do you use Zap?
Bottom
You want to save your Lava Hound? Oh, wow. He plays defense on his tower, and I think that was probably the right choice.
Because he does have all the little things
Top
in the
right,
air
top right,
surviving.
top right,
Oh no,
top
this might be
right.
it.
Oh, wow, that is.
It's really low. He has to fireball it.
Defensively, but the fireball coming out. Oh, 55 health. He's looking for that Zap. He just needs to cycle to it.
whoa.
But Mike,
Wait,
there it is. He
Oh,
gets the Zap.
Minion, Zap, and then he actually has minions in one deck and Minion Horde in the. Or I'm sorry, no, he's got Minion. Never mind, sorry. But he likes Mega Minion and Miner in both decks. He's definitely going to play that sort of Miner style. In one deck, it's meant to support the Lava Hound. In the other deck, it's meant to support the 3 Musketeers. It's hard to say which deck he's opening with now. Goat stays with the Goblin Barrel deck.
Ooh.
Will Princess only say Bullseye if she hits something?
No, I think the Princess just says stuff.
Bullseye.
She just says stuff.
I think only when she's cast, right?
Yeah, when she
No,
she also like laughs and stuff.
Real talkative.
She kind of has an attitude.
I thought I heard her once when she killed something. She's like, got it.
Oh yeah, you know maybe she's like that because I know that Bowler now has multiple text like
Yes.
voice
Multiple
lines.
lines, yeah.
That I wonder if some of the legendaries also have a couple lines.
Yeah, the Princess definitely does. Yeah.
Those skeletons, because the Inferno Tower starts at such low damage, the skeletons are getting time to actually walk up
And
and
actually do
stab it
damage.
just a little bit, which is good because now this Lava Hound. Well, I think I would have played the Lava Hound a little further back to buy a little bit more time.
Oh, but there's
Because-
more skeletons.
Yeah, but I still think you'd rather just have that Inferno Tower time out instead of actually wind up on some.
Oh, wow.
What do I know?
It did
It's
tag.
a little bit of damage.
Wow, that actually, yeah. Let's see, a lot longer than I thought.
So should I go with top right again, you guys?
I think it's gonna be a 3
Keep
crown.
gambling.
3 crown.
I feel like the words I speak today are cursed. So pick something that I don't say. Wow, Princess actually makes it to the tower. No minions to play?
Bullseye.
Interesting. Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, so a good adaptation there. The Minion Horde went down the left side. Once it got Fireball, decided to be a little more aggressive coming down the right side with the Miner to support the defensive Mega Minion. And just like that, the towers are almost tied up again.
Very toe-to-toe. Here's the first one of the game. Goodbye.
Oh no. But with Zap used on the Goblin Barrel, what are you going to do about the Skeleton Army?
Oh,
no.
minions are a good choice. Plus, the Tombstone will pop and actually face the Skeleton Army quite well. There's a lot of small, chumpy troops in Loupanji's deck that is really keeping this Zap bait deck under control.
Ooh, that Princess almost single-handedly stopped that push. The Fireball helped. The Miner comes in to take her off the board, but at that point, all of those little swarmy troops were already dead from either spells or Princess shots.
Again, threatening Zap. And the Miner is here, but not necessarily close. But due to the fact that minions exist and the Tombstone exists, it's not a good enough Zap bait, I think.
Yeah, between the Tombstone and all the defensive air units, the Goat's Miners aren't actually being that effective. He cast a Miner and a Zap and only got 130 damage on the tower.
I really think that he should look into combining Fireball. He needs to justify a time to Fireball units and the tower. There's so much that is clumped up in front of that tower. For example, the Mega Minion and the Minions and the Tombstone. I think that if he can be quick, take a risk even, and maybe try to read the opponent and make a Fireball of huge value, he would have already threatened spell cycle range at this point.
Let's say, yeah, kind of, I was asked, what is stopping Goat from this spell cycling? Is he afraid of?
I think he's going to do that now.
He really doesn't want to get punished by a Minion Horde Miner drop.
Fireball Zap, though, is the name of the game right now. MVP of this game has to be Princess, right? I mean,
Yes.
when you're playing a Zap bait deck, a deck that is looking to run your opponent out of cards like arrows and Fireball.
Whoa! Just like that, the Mega Minion. Goat not calculating.
It was too close. I think
So many
that
dad jokes.
I don't think I can deal with any more of us being sick. Let's just stick with...
Tag, you're pregnant. All right, guys, here it is.
Oh my god.
Game potentially
Stop.
and match here. If Loupanji can take this, this will be his 3-0. It's up to GOAT to come back. We've seen it happen. We've seen someone come back and win 3 games in a row, so he's not out of the woods yet.
That was a very stylish... We talk about the gentleman's agreement sometimes where you open with both elixir collectors and just nod your head to each other. Both of them threw a goblin barrel and had it countered for 2 elixir, and they thumbed each other up.
Good answer.
Good play, sir.
Good play, good show. Oh, wow. That's the... See, those are the times in my life where I'm like, are you sure that it works out that way? Because I think that Mega Minion could have.
Oh, the Mega Minion, though, survived just enough to kill the princess. Huge advantage. That seems like a very minor thing, but think about that. That was 3 elixir that just got removed from the board that otherwise Loupanji would have to commit some extra elixir to kill, and instead, he can go to 10 pretty comfortably.
And he gets 2 princess shots for it, maybe a 3rd.
Oh, wow, that's really good. I mean, that's 420 damage, I believe, for only 3 elixir, which is a good...
Ooh, a big fireball.
Good trade for sure. And that fireball, yes, obviously very, very unfortunate.
That was something that I think Ghost should have started doing much earlier in the game. Playing minor fireball or minor goblin barrel fireball, some combination of that really hurt him.
I think the problem is you can't really put fireball out of your hand unless you want to get killed by 3 musketeers. He's got to really hold those fireballs for 3 musketeers, and not just hold the fireball, but start to get a sense, a feel of the game for when those 3 musketeers are going to come out, and maybe even like pre-fire it. Because if you play 3 musketeers and it just sits there for a beat or 2, they're going to do a lot of damage. You almost have to be like, aha, he's saving up. I know that he's going to play these things now, and get ready for that fireball.
Go give it a little oops there. It seems like he's being a little maybe too cautious with that log. The goblin did get a stab.
Not the ideal choice. And the
Ice Golem protects.
Oh wow, Princess lives.
Skeleton army for the goblin barrel.
But he got what he wanted, which is no damage on the tower. That's what GOAT was aiming for. It's just good defense there.
Ooh, he needs to log the goblin barrel and possibly the skeleton army at the same time.
Ooh.
Understand.
Yeah, it was a slow log. He had the elixir for it. He may just not have had the card in his hand. He had to play skeleton army or something to cycle first, because they did get 1 round of stabs in.
Oh, here's a push.
Princess did lock onto the chumpy troops though.
With
the goblin barrel to assist.
Oh, wow.
Log's out of hand.
Oh, and the zap buys a little more time.
Wow.
Loupanji is playing out of his mind.
You know, I think Loupanji might be, I don't know if he's our first Canadian winner, but I think he might be our first French-Canadian winner if he can pull this game off.
Wow. All right, fireball going in. Looks like Goat is trying everything that he possibly can. That's a tower down. 5 more seconds. Goat has to take it down. Log's going to do it. Can he get the fireball? No. Match is over, and Loupanji just like that.
Wow.
3-0 Goat in the finals. First time here at the Clash Royale North American Open, and coronation number 11 is yours, sir.
Second time. The first time we've seen it since Flash did it in the coronation day number 3. Flash 3-0'd his opponent.
Sorry, Loupanji's first time here.
Oh, first time here. Oh, I'm sorry. That's only our second sweep of the finals.
Yeah, well done. Well played.
Something I really, really liked from Loupanji's decks, actually both of them, was how flexible they were. In that game, 3 Musketeers was played once, and it did not do significant damage to the tower. It wasn't even the tower that ended up, 1 Musketeer made it to the right side tower, the tower that ended up falling was the left side. Loupanji was able to use these decks and say, hey, you have a counter to one of the cards in my deck, 3 Musketeers. Well, good thing that it is a linchpin in the deck, but not the linchpin in the deck, and still play Minor, Goblin Barrel, Princess to great success. His Lava Hound deck, there was a game in the round of 8.
He didn't even play.
Didn't play a Lava Hound.
Yeah.
Purely played Minor and Minion Horde. And he was able to understand, hey, I might get punished by a Hog Rider if I play my Lava Hound, so I'm just going to opt not to do it. Very, very well informed, and definitely one of the most expert players to come through the coronation days.
Yeah, totally. Well, let's take a look at our first replay of this final match of tonight. I think we got a little Lava Hound action in here.
Yeah, Lava Pups do so well, and the Minor too, in addition, means that the synergy is there. Having the tank available, has to spend the fireball to stop the damage on the tower, but...
We talk about Minor placement all the time. Think about if that Minor was back corner instead of front corner, that whole push goes differently. The Mega Minion would actually start killing the swarms. Instead it locked onto the Minor, which let them kill the Mega Minion and then lock onto the tower. We see that again. These Minor placements are so critical. You don't just throw them sort of randomly on the tower. You have to really think, like, what is my opponent going to do? Do I want it behind the tower? Do I want it in front of the tower?
54 HP.
What close games, and even the last one was, what, 300 health away? That easily could have been one shot from a something, right? A princess, a something, you know?
Right. Is that, I got a question, is that our first time a Lava Hound deck has won? We've had Lava Hound decks get very close, make the finals. I can't recall if it's the first Lava Hound to win, but it's definitely the first time a Three Musketeers deck has won the Coronation Day. So that's another archetype to hang up on the big wall. Yeah.
We really
doing
gotta
it,
start
guys.
doing that. Again, just letting people know like these are the top players, and that's why we're seeing the meta consistently change. Right, when something comes against them, they figure out a way to move past it. We're seeing new decks. All right, just for a quick recap of the day, let's go ahead and pull up the bracket finally here for Coronation number 11. Rainy, Rumham, trace us through this event.
This Coronation Day probably had the most interesting decks. I wouldn't say that they strayed too far from understood archetypes. There was minor cycle, but it was a little bit different than what we had understood before. There were Golem decks, but they were a little different than what we understood before. There were Hog Rider decks that were also a little bit different. Expo makes a no-show once again, and I think that this tournament really demonstrates that these players are starting to finalize their decks, really fine-tune them, and make sure that they plug up any holes, any weaknesses.
Loupanji's running hot here. He lost the very first game of the top 8 to Chief Mystical and then rattled off 7 consecutive wins.
That's
including some of these games with
my gosh.
23 health left on my tower, 34 health left on my tower, etc. to go all the way through and sweep the reverse sweep Chief Mystical, sweep the quarterfinals match or semifinals match, and then sweep the finals.
It's like that first loss just lit the fire.
Yeah.
It's like
So
never again.
What's interesting is if you notice, he only had a 77% win rate, so he was actually going 2-1 kind of often
Up to
in
this
the
point.
early rounds.
That's
But as soon as he hit the top 8, just put it into overdrive.
Impressive.
Refused to lose.
Not only is he taking home $2,000 and a chance to go to the crown duels, but he's going to go and live on throughout Clash Royale history.
Forever for internet history.
That was amazing. He's so sneaky. Sneaky guy.
And with innovative decks, I mean, the Lava Hound deck is something that it's known, but there's a lot of ways you can build it, and it's definitely more of a tier 2 archetype. It's something that consistently dominates, so his flavor of it did really well today. But this other deck is weird and definitely something that we haven't seen a lot of, and really big congrats.
Come at us with your flavor, with your own deck. Go to
us the flavor.
ClashRoyaleOpen.com, sign up. You could be the next Loupanji if you're that awesome.
Yeah, if you're sitting at home watching them going I can do that. I like money. I want to go to Helsinki. You guys can do that. Our next broadcast is tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is Coronation number 12. And then we only have 4 more, 1 more week after that. All 16 will be done. And then the arena battles will begin. 8 will move on to the crown duels after that, where one winner takes home $15,000 out of a $100,000 prize pool. And that trip to go to Supercell HQ. Congratulations. All right, final thoughts of the night before we wrap up.
Loupanji, pretty cool. Pretty cool guy.
Pretty cool dude.
Pretty cool dude. I think with Lava Hound, Giant Bowler, Golem, Expo, all of these decks already claiming a Coronation Day victory, we have 5 more Coronations. I'm excited to see if a new archetype evolves and some deck that we have not previously seen breaks out again and wins. It's very possible.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for Coronation number 11. On behalf of everyone here at NGE Studios in Burbank, California, this has been the official Supercell Clash Royale North American Open. That is Rumham and Rainy.
I'm Ella.
Spotter decks are not dead.
Have a most ridiculous night.
Bye. Man, I hope it's